Hey guys, welcome to my favorite episode of The Real Deal so far. This is the first episode that instead of one of my houses, we're at somebody else's house on a deal that they got, which is their first deal. Watch us while we go through Steve Crawford from Yuma, Arizona's first deal ever.
Come on, come on. This forever. No surrender, no surrender. Yeah. You know that this right here forever.
Hey guys, we're here in Yuma, Arizona, and I am here with a Subject 2 student, Steve Crawford. And Steve, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your experience in real estate? How long have you been doing real estate? And tell us a little bit about this house.
Well, I have zero experience in real estate. This mentorship is my first experience with real estate, and this is my first house. I bought it seller finance at 0% interest.
It's so amazing. So what's so funny is, like, right when we got to the house, I was asking Steve, I go, tell me about your journey. Like, how did you find me? How did you find the thing? He talked about, he found us on YouTube. So guys, please like and subscribe. You absolutely changed your life here, putting a bunch of money into your retirement account, making some cash flow just by finding us on YouTube. So guys, like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. But Steve talked about how he found out about real estate was, he said, what was the thing you Googled?
I Googled quickest way to get rich, and it said real estate. And from there, I Googled how to get into real estate with zero money. And that's how I discovered wholesaling and creative finance.
It's so amazing how everybody else has a different journey. My journey was I was a contractor, total blue collar, and I was working for other people that were in real estate, and I was watching them all make a bunch of money, right? Ultimately, one of those guys took advantage of me. I lost $1 million, and it forced me to go full-time real estate. So tell me about your journey. How did that happen for you? Did you kind of feel like you got slighted a little bit?
Well, I spent 4 years learning to fly and working the ground at a crop dusting firm, and a lot of mixing chemical and standing knee deep in jet fuel. And I ended up getting passed up to be a pilot at that firm. So I decided I was going to try and make money another way.
So that's when you Googled stuff. That's when you saw Steve Trang's show.
Yep.
You started kind of getting into that world, and then you were introduced to me. And then when we launched the mentorship, you were one of the first students that ever joined.
Yeah, I do believe I was one of the very first, I was in the very first group, I believe. And yeah, from there, it's been about, I guess, 90 days I've been in the mentorship, and I've already landed my first home, so. Well,
you landed your first contract probably 40 days into the mentorship, and then you went through an escrow process, right? So you had to open escrow, right. You had to, we helped you find a lender, we helped you put all this stuff together. Yes. Rochelle, our transaction coordinator, helped you run all the paperwork.
Yes.
The reason why we're going through this is because I want you guys to understand, as we go through this property, how amazing this is for not just anybody to get a deal like this, but the fact that you can Google how to get rich, which then makes you Google how to get into real estate. And here you are 3-4 months later, you own a property, no money out of your pocket, cash flowing between $300 and $500 a month, that you literally paid no marketing expenses to get this house.
Yeah, absolutely zero. When you say zero out of pocket, I mean
you actually got paid a little bit of money up front.
Yes.
So here's what's cool. We're gonna go through 5 or 6 things here really quick. Steve's in his 40s, just started in real estate. Just within a matter of 40 days, gets his first contract. Steve is the owner of the property we're gonna go through, and we're gonna ask you the address here in just a second. He's the owner of the property. Do you feel like you're a master of creative financing right now?
No, I don't know that much about creative financing. I'm still learning, so.
So you can still be learning in the process. You don't have to become a master to get your first deal. Steve looked into wholesale first, and I get so many people that say, jump into wholesale, jump into wholesale, jump into wholesale, it's easier. Boom, here we are, zero marketing expense. And I talk a lot about, guys, go skip trace, go text, go skip trace, go call, and it costs money to do that. Here you are on your first deal, and you got this lead from what?
I got it inside the Subto Mentorship. Another Subto person, yeah, another Subto student actually handed this lead to me because they didn't know what to do because of a big entry fee. So I used the lead I got from the Subto Mentorship and the Subto Facebook group to figure out how to overcome the obstacles to getting this house under contract.
So check this out. Here we are. You can do this anywhere, right? We're in Yuma, Arizona. You have 100,000 people, basically 100,000 person population. People think you have to go to these big metro areas to do real estate deals. You can do this anywhere. You don't have to have money to start. In fact, you made money on your first deal without any money out of pocket, right? You've got some extra cash in your pocket. Your cash flow is going to be minimum 300, probably closer to the $500 mark. You had no experience in real estate 4 months ago. And now your whole entire thought process has changed. 3-4 months ago, you're like, I'm going to be a pilot. Now what are you thinking you want to do with your life?
Real estate investment.
So guys, let's take a look at the house. Steve, tell us about it. What if I'm going to rent this property? What are the highlights of the house? What's cool about it? And give Bobby a tour. Just talk directly to Bobby and go give Bobby a tour.
Okay, well, we're on a nice street in the Yuma foothills, which is a great place to be if you are a winter visitor. And you got a beautiful view of the mountains here. Let's see. Here's the entrance to my place. All right, so we're in my house here. This is 2-bed, 2-bath. This is the entrance area, dining area.
So this is like a really good house for just like a retiree, right?
Right. Well, this whole community out here is pretty much geared towards that. So it's a lot of people who are older live out here. And one of the nice things is that the house was kept up because the lady was older, so she didn't do a lot of wear.
It's an awesome shape. What I like about this is it's rent ready right now.
Right.
Right. Somebody comes in here. You don't even need to paint the house. Mm-hmm. I think you're going to have to throw in like a dishwasher. Yep. What are you going to have to do in this house?
I'm going to put a dishwasher. That's just a freezer. The lady took her refrigerator, so I'm going to put a fridge there.
Cool. You're not doing any flooring, no paint.
No flooring, no paint. There's a couple of areas where the walls have been banged as she was moving out that I'll need to patch up.
What about all this furniture? What are you going to do with that?
I'm going to sell it on Craigslist because she left it behind, so she didn't want it. I'm selling it.
Bro, you could probably
get a couple bucks out of that.
Yeah,
or I might leave it here for a renter if they're interested.
You could probably sell some of the stuff in the garage and get a dishwasher and a fridge paid for, I would imagine, right?
That's
There's a dolly out there. It's probably $100 dolly. You've got furniture in here that's $30, $40. You probably get, I don't know, $500-$600 and then go down to a used appliance store and throw in a fridge and a dishwasher. Nope.
Yep.
Easy.
Yep. Put it to work.
Yeah, let's go into the garage. So we got the master bedroom
here. Master bedroom, master bath, which is kind of nice. It has a separate shower and tub.
Here's what I like about this house. Original carpet next to the brand new wood floor that she put in here.
Yeah.
I love it.
Don't waste money putting it in.
Yeah, exactly. The Smurf carpet.
Yeah. Here's the second bathroom and bedroom. And then you can see there's a washer hookup here. Second entrance. Now the best part of this house, in my opinion. A garage you could easily fit 4 vehicles in. If you had, a lot of people here are real big in the river and the sand dunes. So if you have sand dune equipment or a boat, you could easily fit your boat, your Jeep in here, plus your vehicles for getting around to town and to work.
This is a great like workshop. You've got the ability to hook up a sink here.
Yep.
You could truly have like a full-on workshop in here.
And it's AC. It's got a separate AC.
Wow. It's separate AC and it's taller, right? It's not a standard garage height.
Right.
So you can bring an RV in here.
Yep.
You can bring a whole bunch of stuff. This is a great spot.
Also, another great thing about this place is there is a place to hook up water and electricity for an RV. So that's another quality thing you can do here. Now we can head out back and see the backyard. Out back here is just a nice area you could probably clean up and put a spot right here with a shade, and you could have a dinner back here in the winter when it's nice out. And you got some extra storage and some neighbors who have real nice trees.
So guys, we're gonna go back in right now. It's so hot in Yuma, Arizona. When Bobby and I were driving down here, it was like 110 at 7:30 in the morning. It's so blistering hot. What I love about the house is that you're one of the nicer houses in the neighborhood. I think the biggest thing you're gonna have to do here is probably a little bit of a landscape cleanup, a couple of appliances, a little bit of touch up. You have an electrician that's gonna come in and do some stuff, right?
I have an electrician who's gonna, journeyman electrician coming in tomorrow morning to make sure the house is in working order and safe to rent.
Love it. So let's ask Steve a couple of questions about this deal because I know everybody here as well. Steve is into this deal, $0 out of pocket, and he bought the house from the seller on seller finance at 0% interest. So there's a lot of zeros there, But what we're not talking about is what did it take to get the deal done, right? So let's talk about that. The seller wanted how much money?
They wanted $120,000 for the house, and they wanted $20,000 down and the $100,000 over 20 years. And I never brought up interest, and they never asked about it. So
love it. So a lot of times people will ask, well, how do you talk a seller into a 0% interest type of deal? Well, you just tell them, hey, I'll pay you 120 if you allow me to make payments over the next 20 years. And that ultimately worked out to a 0% interest deal.
Yeah.
It's really not that complicated. The majority of the deals that we do 0% seller finance, that's exactly what it is. A seller says, I want this number. So the seller gives you a number, 120, that was obviously too high for a wholesaler or a fix and flipper. No wholesaler or fix and flipper could have made money here.
It was actually maybe even I've heard from real estate agents it might have even been about 5 to 10 over ARV. So
love it. So he paid over retail value for a house that isn't outdated necessarily, like this is rent ready, but it's definitely not a brand new home. Right? The advantage of the way you bought the house is in the terms.
Yes.
So when the lady says, I want 120, what did you say to her?
She wanted 120 cash, and I told her that I couldn't do 120 cash. So I asked her what she needed the money for, and when she told me she needed to move out of the state and she needed $20,000 to get there, I then presented the terms over 20 years for the other 100.
So you said, hey, I'll give you $20,000 now.
Yes.
You move on out of state, on to the next chapter of your life, next adventure. I'll help you get there. So you solved a major problem for her.
That was the idea, to solve the
issue. You gave her the number she wanted.
Yep.
Because a very common question people ask me on the YouTube channel and the comments and all that stuff, they go, why would a seller ever sell to you on 0% seller finance? And I can tell you there's two reasons. One, she didn't have to go through the inconvenience of listing through a real estate agent and ultimately probably only getting about $100,000.
Right.
Two, she avoided all that stuff, but then she got the number she wanted and the cash down payment that she needed to get to the next step.
Right, solved the issue.
You solved the issue and gave her a higher number than anybody else.
Yes.
So those are two major reasons why people sell to you on terms, is that you're giving them convenience and you're paying them a higher dollar amount. I don't know what else you really want from that. So when you're buying subject to, sometimes you're buying a home and you're saving somebody from foreclosure. So there's other added benefits from buying, to the seller with them selling to you on terms. But in this situation, you gave her a higher number, you gave her convenience.
Yes.
Right? And then you gave her peace of mind where you went through a title company, you did all that kind of stuff, and you made it easy for her to just leave, right?
Yeah. Well, one thing she also liked is that she just packed up and left. There was no, she didn't have to have somebody come out here and fix anything or do anything. That I took on all that. I said, the house as is, I'll take it. Here's the money. And that also made her pretty happy.
Love it. So pretty amazing thing that you did here, because you are $0 out of your own pocket, which doesn't mean it didn't take money to get the deal done. It meant that you brought in a private investor,
yes,
which our mentorship helped you find a private investor. The private investor brought what, 30 grand to the table?
Yes.
So the 30 grand paid for 20 grand to the seller.
Yep.
It paid for closing costs.
Yes.
It paid for the first couple of months of payments. So right now the house is vacant.
Right.
You're not making those payments. You're basically taking your lender's money and paying your lender and the seller her monthly payments out of the money you raised.
Right. My lender is paying himself.
Right. Perfect. And this is what we teach in the mentorship, is raise enough money that you can get into the deal $0 out of pocket. It's cash flowing and you actually have paid yourself. You'll probably have $2,000, $3,000 or $4,000 in your pocket after you have the house rented out, right?
Right.
So pretty amazing.
Yes, it actually is pretty amazing.
Paid up front, no money out of pocket, cash flowing, minimum 300. I think it's probably closer to the 450 mark.
Right.
What Steve did is that how did you find a renter?
Well, I just put a feeler ad out. I haven't, just to see where I was at, I just put out the area, how many bedrooms and how many bathrooms, and that I had a 2-car garage, and all I said was that it was AC. And that was it. And every day for, I'd say 3 weeks to a month, I've gotten at least one phone call or email with interest. And that's with no photographs of the home. So
amazing. So once you get this obviously cleaned out, you got a couple things, you got some tchotchkes and whatnot. You're going to take some drapes down. No actual rehab, just a cleanup.
Yes.
Once you clean it up, you're going to maybe throw some photos up. I think you should be trying to get $1,250, and then ultimately you'll find a renter will come in at about $1,150 So your gross cash flow will be about $450 a month.
Yep.
So your payment to the seller is how much per month?
$400.
And how much interest are you paying on that?
Absolutely zero interest. That's the best part.
So when you make a payment, the $400,
I'm getting $400 of equity every single time I pay. So I feel like I'm paying myself.
amazing. So then you've got, is there an HOA here?
Nope.
No HOA. What do you got for like taxes and insurance? Because you have to go get taxes and insurance outside of that. So your taxes are probably what, $50, $60 a month?
Right.
Insurance is about $60 a month. And then your private lender is how much money?
$250 a month.
Okay, so $250 a month. So you're all in how much money? Like $750?
Yep, approximately about $750, yeah.
Okay, so he's $750. He rents it out for $1150. You're at $400 in gross cash flow. Plus your house is paying off $400 every single month.
So every single month I'm gaining.
So check this out. This is what I was telling Steve. I said, Steve originally was going to wrap this deal because you were saying, well, I need somebody to come in and help me out with the down payment because I'm going to take the wrap buyer's down payment, pay my down payment to the seller, so I'm into the deal I'm out of pocket zero. When you posted in the Subto Facebook group, you said, hey, I've got this deal. My wrap buyer is being a little bit weird. I need some advice. I got on the phone with you, and what did I tell you?
Do not wrap this property. Keep this property. It is too good of a deal to wrap. And one of the main reasons is for taxes.
Right.
Which I don't totally understand.
Perfect. That's why you're in a mentorship, right? So
Right.
you can learn all that kind of stuff. And what's cool is yesterday I just signed an agreement with my CPA that he's going to come in every quarter to the mentorship and give people tax advice for a 2 or 3 hour live. So any tax advice you need, we have a CPA that comes in every quarter. The reason I told you don't wrap this house is because you have 0% seller finance.
Right.
And the tax benefits are cool because you can go make money at your regular job. And because you own real estate over here, you use what's called depreciation to wipe out. Do you pay taxes on your regular job?
No.
You don't pay any taxes?
Nope.
No state income tax, none of that stuff?
Hardly anything.
Okay, well, when you become a pilot, when you upgrade,
Right.
if you upgraded to be a pilot, a guy making about $150,000 a year is probably gonna pay about 30 grand of that 150 to the taxes.
Right.
Okay? So owning real estate like this and actually being the owner, you will be able to wipe a lot of that federal income tax off by owning real estate. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And we can get into all the tricky stuff in the mentorship, but I told him, keep the property because it'll help you out with taxes. And also it's a 0% deal. You'll own this property and in 20 years, you own nothing on the house.
Right.
You put $250,000 easy in your retirement and along the way, you probably cash flowed $150,000 to $200,000.
Right.
Every 2 years, you can raise the rent here probably $50. So imagine in 10 years, you've raised the rent here $500 in 10 years. You're now renting this thing for $1,600, $1,700. Your payment on this deal stays the exact same all the way through.
Right.
Crazy.
That's it. Yeah. So the cash flow's going up. Yeah. One deal.
One freaking deal. And you do another deal next month, another deal next month, another deal the next month. Before long, you basically are making way more money doing this than you are at your regular job.
That's the plan.
And you're like, I'm done, peace out.
Yes.
Love it. All right, guys, so the real deal is not all about 30 minutes, 40-minute videos. That's what Sunday service is for. So if you guys want to tune in, you want to learn more about this, I would do 2 things. Number 1, watch Sunday Service, which is our podcast. We do every Sunday, 7 p.m. Arizona time. And by the way, like and subscribe on this YouTube channel. We love doing stuff like this. We love impacting lives, getting people to start making money and change their lives forever. If you want to learn more about this deal, and you guys need help with your own creative finance deals, I don't want Steve Crawford doing deals only. I want Steve Crawford helping other people do their deals. So this was your first deal.
Yes.
And now it's your job to turn around and get people their first deal.
Yes.
Okay.
So
reach out to Steven Crawford what's your Instagram?
my Instagram is Steven Crawford REI, and you can ask me anything, and if I don't know the answer, I'll help you find it.
What about your cell phone number? You want to give that out and have people text you or no?
That's my only cell phone.
All right, perfect. So guys, I actually just decided to change my cell phone number this morning just from how many people like blow me up on Steve
My wife and I were
Training's.
laughing about
Oh, it's so bad. So guys, what I want you to do is like, subscribe. Thank you so much. Go check out Steven Crawford on Instagram, Steven Crawford REI for real estate investment or real estate investor now that you own your first house. And thank you guys so much for tuning into The Real Deal.
It's like forever, no surrender. It's forever, you know. That's right, forever.